All right.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. Awesome.
All right, Nick. So,
Alrighty.
you know who I am. You know,
Yes.
you were part of Summer Scream Fest this past year. Brought in hell of a crowd. Had Lucas come on stage, perform a song with you, like had such an unbelievable set. Um,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So I know recently everyone wants to know. I know you departed from Hallow Sanctum recently and also had, I believe, a loss in the family recently as well, right?
Yes, correct.
So, how are you coping with having a loss of family and also like a loss of like music as well?
So it was very rough in the beginning because it all kind of happened at once. And it's usually like kind of like when things go down like that, it's usually all at once. And I definitely had some moments where I definitely completely shut down. And it was very rough for me mentally. But I lost my grandfather just 2 days after Hallow and I parted ways, which was very unfortunate timing. But he was 100 years old. We kind of knew it was going to be happening at some point, and he lived a really good life, and I definitely found solace in that because he lived his life very, very well and gave so much for my mom and her siblings, my aunt and uncle, and even for us, he was constantly dedicated to his family. And I definitely found solace in that. As for like the Hallow stuff, it's definitely kind of been a little weird having this much free time because I'm not really like, well, I am, but like it's like I don't have shows to worry about. I don't have like band practice or anything. It's like weird. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with all my time?
Yeah, that was something that we weren't all expecting, and I literally thought you were lying to us. I was like, Nick, shut up. Why are you lying to everybody on social
Yeah.
media?
No, I got a lot of messages like that night when I posted that because I posted that right after I got off of the call where they kicked me out. And just because like I just want to like bite the bullet, post it, no longer part of the band and everything. And I was like working on my statement after that because I wanted to get that out. It's like, just say like what happened and everything. And I was getting a lot of things like April's next year, dude, or like this better be a joke. I'm like, it's not a joke. And that's what like broke my heart because I didn't realize like how much like love I was like going to receive after that. And like upon like posting like my statement and whatnot, like how many people like actually cared about this band. Because this was something that I started and was always like an idea in my head while like even like a couple of years ago. And seeing how far it came to like seeing how many people were there along for the ride was kind of like a beautiful experience. And so seeing it all come to an end definitely it sucked, but I'm holding up pretty good nowadays. I'm not as stressed and depressed as I used to be like when it initially happened. I'm in a much clearer headspace. And I could definitely say like the future's looking pretty bright. I'm excited for like what's to come next.
Yeah, so am I, honestly. That's why I want to interview you and get in that brain because a lot of people recommended,
Yeah,
they're like, you need to talk to Nick and from Hollow Sanctum. We need
really.
to know what is going on in his head, what happened. I was like, I'll ask Nick. I'll ask him.
There we go, right from the source.
All right. So, of course, I noticed, and probably a bunch of people knows that you've been doing covers on Instagram. What other
Yes.
songs do you have in mind to cover for, content wise?
Hmm. It's I kind of just like I'll hear something and I'll just be like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. I don't really like plan any of it. It's like I'll like be like at work and I'll like a song will come on and I'll just be like, oh yeah, no, I'm covering this the moment I get home from work.
Yeah, I know that
Or,
you
you
did
know,
like a
like
Rain City Drive one recently, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I did a I did two, I think. Yeah, I did two. That's been like one of my favorite bands recently, and their new album has been on repeat. It's just so good. And then I'm probably gonna wind up taking a crack at the new Memphis Mayfire song that just dropped because it's a banger. And it's like I wasn't expecting them to like go that heavy, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yep, let's do this.
I never listened to that band, honestly. I saw them live when they were on tour with like Accent Alexandria with The Word Alive. I saw that was the only time I ever saw them and listened to them. And I
Uh,
also saw Matty Mullins uh when he did vocals for Amberlin not that long
yep,
ago
I
during
know
the
he's doing
Hawthorne
that now
Heights
too.
tour. He was really good. I just hate Amberlin. You know, one of the guys in that band sexually assaulted me at emo night. So I
Ooh,
hate that band with a passion
I
now.
don't blame you.
Yeah,
I don't blame you at all for that. I'm so
it
sorry
sucks
that
because
that
that was
happened
the
to you.
band that I loved my whole life. And then when I was like at emo night, he was like the special guest, and I was like, hell yeah, I get to meet somebody that is from my favorite band, and I get cornered in the room and touched and just like leaned over and so drunk out of his mind. I'm sitting there, I'm like, of course.
You know, it's such a shame because like it's, you know, like all these people that like we used to like idolize, like now like you start to see like their skeletons coming out of the closets, you know, and it's such like a disheartening thing. Like honestly, like there has been some times where even like, you know, it's happened to people who like I used to be like somewhat close with and had no idea about anything. You know, you and I
Mhm.
share some mutual, you know, experiences with that.
Yep.
And, you know, it honestly just makes me like it makes me feel like it's just like so stupid. Like how could I like not see that and everything? Because like I like after like all of it like happens, you start to like look back and you're just like everything was there the whole time.
Yeah.
And you know, like it's kind of like you're blind to like what their intentions have been all along until like it happens. And you know, having either going through that experience or like witnessing it and just not being like not realizing what it was until like you really start to see it because like you're naive in the moment. It sucks. And you know, especially when it's somebody who you look up to or it's someone that you used to consider a friend, you know, it's just I don't think it's hard to be a good person nowadays. And for some reason, like there's so many more like bad people that like than good people. And I just don't think it's hard to be a good person. Basic kindness and treating others the way you want to be treated is just like common like practice. I what I would assume anyways, you know, that's how I was raised, you know, and I don't why is that so hard?
It's fame,
You
I
know?
think, because we grow up with friends that get into the scene and just a little hint of fame. They just turn quickly. Like when numbers
Yeah.
start going up, you realize like your friends that weren't so cocky and are now just so different. And you're sitting here like, wow, fame does really change people. And it sucks because they forget about you and then they forget about the friends that actually were there for them.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
and then you have people that let fame get to their heads. They cheat on their girlfriends and their wives and their partners on tour. And I'm like, why? Why? Why would you do that? It's just it's not good. And I feel like the scene is getting worse and worse and worse. 2024 was a rough year for our scene.
It was. And you know, like that's where like it just comes to like you know, like for example, like these people, that's where it comes to just not entertaining anything that they're doing. Don't give them that platform, like yeah, they're probably going to get called out on social media and everything, and that's obviously going to bring them a lot of attention as well. But when the dust settles and everything, just don't even pay attention to what they're doing. Don't even give them that platform. There's a reason why people eventually fade away and burn out. And everybody who has been either called out, canceled, and whatnot, like for doing some shady shit or assaulting somebody or, beating their partner or other things that are even worse,
I just feel like
which,
even when people announce stuff like that happening, nobody believes the victim at all. They just believe the musician, like, oh, they would never do that. I've known that person for years. I always tell people you never truly know a person 100% ever. You may know
no,
like 98%, but you don't know like that 2% of them ever. You never truly know a person. I was like, the person may act nice for years, but you never know deep down they could hide something so dark and sinister that you never know.
no, absolutely. Like, look at like, I've been watching like a lot of like serial killer documentaries and everything. And like, look at this. Like, these people, they're like ordinary people to everybody else around them. But what are they doing in the dark? You know, like, and that's the thing. I'm another thing is like people, like you said, they believe the musicians and everything. You're believing somebody that you like don't know. Like, sure, you're connected to their art and whatnot, but you don't know them as people. And yeah, like it's always such like a rough situation because you have those fans that believe the musician, excuse me, and then you have like people who will like stand by and defend the victim, or you have people that'll just like stay kind of like somewhere in the middle, not really supporting them, but hearing out like the victim and whatnot, and just kind of. I see a lot of people, they throw around the term separate art from the artist. And, like sometimes like that's nine times
You
out of
can't
10 for me. Like
you can't do that
you
because
can't.
I always like as a person that owns a publication, like we can't be biased. We have to
No,
not say certain things and everything. Like we have to literally be neutral. And it's hard. Like we're allowed to, if I cover a show, let's say I photograph a show and Amberlyn was on there or something, I'm able as a photojournalist put in my article what my experience is. How do I feel about this band? Like
right,
I'm allowed to because it's a personal experience. But some things like, like let's say for example, the whole Oceano thing, like as a photojournalist, I can't
oh my
really say
god,
much.
yeah,
I can't say much because I can't
right,
be biased because as a photographer, yeah, we may photograph bands that people have controversy on, but it's a business and it's not like I'm
right,
photographing because I like them. It's because it's my job. It's a assignment. It's not like I'm invalidating like victims or whatever. It's just what I have to do. But
correct,
sometimes I will refuse to do a tour like Fallen in Reverse. There's a lot of controversy with him. So I will refuse to do a show
correct.
with him, but I will do other bands. But then it still shows that you're supporting his tour. So no matter what, as an individual, you lose.
It's a double-edged sword completely.
Yeah. Like I've been a victim of like sexual assault, rape, and all that. So I stand with victims. And sometimes you have to like backtrack and be like, I can't listen to this band anymore because now I validate these females that went through all this stuff. And you have to sit back and be like, damn, a band I've been listening to for years, I can't listen to it anymore because, of
Yep,
allegations. It's rough. It sucks.
it is. There's certain bands that I can't listen to anymore, and there's certain albums that I can't even listen to anymore because of like, a member that was like a prominent like writer or vocalist on that album that just like I can't do it.
Yeah, like I got a lot of
Can't
hate
do it at all.
for wanting to photograph Dance Gavin Dance. Everyone's like, they're, pieces of shit. I was like, yeah, but my best friend that died, that was her favorite band. So I'm gonna hold back whatever anybody said. I was like, if my that was my friend's favorite band. I'm gonna photograph them, take a photo, print it out
Of
and put it
course.
on her grave. Like that has nothing to do like me supporting the band. It's me supporting my best friend that never got a chance to see them. That's the difference that people really
Right.
don't want to see and they don't want to hear it either.
Right. Exactly.
They automatically think you're an asshole. And I'm like, I'm really not. I'm just doing something that is a memory of a friend, not because I listened to the band, which I never listened to Dance Gavin Dance before in my life.
Yeah.
I never listened to them, so I don't even support them. I was like, my best friend just loved them, so I was like, I was gonna photograph them. I swear, I protect all victims. I swear.
No, of course.
Yeah, it's rough out here in 2024. 2025 better be good to us all.
Yeah. We need a good 2025 badly.
Yeah. Okay.
No more
Are there?
metalcore moments or deathcore moments.
We don't need any more moments. Social media just
No.
needs to be off the earth, honestly.
Literally.
I mean, like today, social media was just off the chain. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I'm staying off of Facebook today and Instagram. I'm
Yep.
done.
Nope. Throw my phone away at that point.
Exactly. It's just to make every status is about the whole statement about the Attila tour, which
Yeah.
I understand a 1000% because they're very
Completely.
controversial.
I
It is
completely
it is
understand
what it
like
is.
Adam's perspective,
Like I was
and
reading
it
his
sucks because you
perspective
see,
and I just don't know. Like, did he give up too quickly? Because I feel like maybe it was a scapegoat for him finally to leave the band and say what he had to say. And that was his opening to be like, you know what, I'm done with this band after like what, 15 plus years. He's like, I'm done. I feel like this was the opening to get away from everything, but also the statement ruined him as a character because he like didn't
yeah,
validate like the victims and stuff, which irritated the shit out of people. But then you also have people irritated because he quit the band and all of a sudden and just didn't like say, I support the victims, I'll drop off the tour, blah blah blah. But he like quit the whole band.
yeah, that's the part that's like, I don't understand like the Oceanos like disbanding, but like I understand like everything else, and I understand why people are frustrated. That's one of those situations where it's just so confusing. I don't even know like I can't even process it yet.
I was only going I was only going for that tour because I got invited out by Nathan James, photographer. So I was only coming out for Nathan James and Oceano. I don't really and never listened to
Right.
Dealer. I never even heard of them until the whole statement today. And then Attila, I saw
That's
him
another
plenty of
band that I
times.
can't listen to.
So
I just can't listen to them because of like everything like going on. It's just not the same. I know there's bands that have like ex dealer members like Heaven's Gate and Pincer Plus, fucking amazing bands. But like they have the some of the original members of Dealer, like Josh Eng, the guitarist that wrote all of like Dealer stuff. And it's very, it's very like I don't know what exactly like to describe that style because Alpha Wolf, Dealer, Pincer Plus, Heaven's Gate, I feel like all kind of like fit in that realm, but
mhm.
they're awesome bands, Heaven's Gate and Pincer Plus.
Yeah, I
But
like
yeah,
Alpha Wolf, but I didn't know anything about Dealer.
one of my favorites.
I don't know what that band is. I can't. I look at the flyer. I was like, I can't even read half the fucking bands on this flyer. So I just see Attila. That's the only thing one I could read. And it was their bands weren't tagged in it. And I was like, who the hell's the other bands? I can't read this deathcore script. It was bad.
Right?
Like, what's the point of having that? I was like, who is on there? And then everything just hit the fan today. And I
Right.
was like, you know what? I think today is the day to cleanse, have a margarita, and just stay off the internet.
Yep,
And that's
exactly.
what I did. Okay, Nick. Are there any projects brewing behind the scenes for you, or are you enjoying not being part of a band right now to focus on other things?
So yes, I do definitely like enjoy like things being a little slower, but I also hate it because I don't know what to do with myself. I always like was somebody who is constantly working on music. I think maybe at most I took like a week or two off from like just not doing anything vocally, not writing any like stuff on my guitars or anything, not trying to write any songs. And then you know, right back to it. I've got a new project I'm putting together and possibly others as well. You know, just kind of like feeling things out and whatnot. But I do have a project of my own that is going to be debuting next year. The people that I'm working with are very dedicated, passionate individuals who really want to do whatever it takes to, make this like crazy dream of ours a reality. That's everybody's goal at the end of the day. And, that's all we want to do is we want to make this music thing like a full-time thing for us and like be able to do what we love most for a living, and our goal is to push as much as possible, so we have I already have like stuff ready to go for the most part. It's just a matter of finding the remaining pieces to fill that gap and eventually just start go.
So that means
And
your band will play Summer Scream Fest 2026 once you
very
get like an
very
EP out. Yep. I was
oh,
like,
I
I'll
meant
tell
I
Sabrina,
thought
I
you
was
meant
like, Nick's band,
2025.
summer
2026, yeah,
2026.
let's lock it in. 100%.
2026 already. Listen, I mean, this for next year, I have never seen so many band submissions in my life, and I don't even know how to start looking and stuff. Like, we're gonna have you guys next year because you guys brought in such an awesome crowd, like so they like Farsight and everything. And I was like, it sucks because, I don't I'm neutral. Like I love you, love Hallow Sanctum, and I love all the other guys in the band still.
Yeah.
And it just sucks because I was like, yeah, you guys as a whole were so solid at Summer Screen Fest, and then shit hit the fan, and I'm like, damn it, I wanted
Yeah.
them Summer Screen Fest 2025. It
Yeah,
sucks.
no. There is one band that I 100% can recommend them right now. I always like trying to put people onto them as much as humanly possible because we played a few shows with them. We did a little like mini run, mini tour, whatever you want to call it, with them back in October called
Who
Gray
is it?
Path. They
Oh,
are
how did
Gray
I
Path.
know it was Great Path?
They are the
How did I know?
sickest fucking band that I like out of New Jersey right now, in my personal opinion. They just came out of nowhere and like they're just so sick. Flawless musicians, amazing guys. They're so funny. And I love all those dudes to death. Like they're the homies, and I 100% batting for them. Like they deserve it. I 100% Gray Path all the way. That band absolutely rips.
Maybe I'll set up an interview with them and talk to them.
100%. You should 100%. They're awesome.
Didn't they just play with Advance 2 and Glass Waves?
Yeah, I was at that show. Unfortunately, I didn't get to catch their set because I was recording for this new project earlier in the day and I was trying to make it. And then our train was delayed. And then we got there like super late. I got there like just in time for What Lies Below set and Advents, but they were saying like, you know, Melora was on that bill too. Melora is another awesome band. Love those dudes to death. Really talented as well. Also some of the funniest dudes I've ever met.
Are they from
but
New Jersey?
They're from New York.
New York.
Yes, but they I think some of the guys were saying Gray Path that the room was like packed out like from the beginning, and that room was packed, like you could barely move. It was like crazy.
I know that's what Brendan told me in Glass Lace. He's like found the room was packed. I was like, I think
Yep.
it sold out 150 cap room. I think it was 150.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
it
a lot of
definitely
people.
sold out. Yeah, I honestly like it, like even like seems like it may have like oversold or something. I don't know because like it just felt like it did, but it's probably 150, but oh my God, that was so many people.
I know I saw videos. I'm like, it looked like people. It looked like an
Yep.
underground rave. Just so
Yeah,
intimate
it
and small.
did.
I was like, are you sure there's 150 people in here? It looks kind of small. I was like, then I saw you go on stage with Anthony. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we he hit me up and everything because originally he wanted like Hallow Sanctum to play on it and everything, but when shit hit the fan, like it kind of was just like, oh, are they like gonna have everything like figured out by then? Like it's probably like too risky like a move. But Great Path eventually got on that show, which honestly they deserve it because that band is just awesome. All the dudes in Advent, you know, those guys, I'm very close with Spiz, and the other guys are awesome dudes as well. I love them to death. Christian, Sebastian, Kaz, and Chappie, they're all amazing dudes and so supportive. They showed up for some of like our like first shows and everything. We were all there for their first show, and it's been like nice bond that we share and whatnot, and we support each other, and we always have like a great time whenever we see each other. They're truly, honestly, some of the best and most genuine people in the scene, and I honestly just can't say enough good things about them. They're amazing.
And you said it's Gray Path, right? That you were just talking about?
Advents as well.
Oh, Advents. Okay, yeah, I've been
Yes,
talking to
Advents was
Anthony.
who I was just talking about.
Yeah, I was talking to Anthony
Yeah.
a few times and stuff because
Yep.
I was thinking about interviewing them for Summer Scream Fest next year because I know
Definitely another recommendation.
they just signed to In Vogue Records and stuff. So
I
that means
know.
give them a year and a half, and they would be signed to like Thriller Records. That's like that's how they climb the ladder in that record label.
I'm hoping so because they really deserve it. They're a hardworking band, and the music obviously speaks for itself. It's incredible. They haven't missed at all.
No, Anthony's really, really good. I listened to their stuff recently and I was like, damn, I miss living in New York. We have all the good bands. And I live in South Carolina. We have good bands here, but like we got the southern deathcore bands here. But New York has like that true
Yep,
metalcore bands. And I
I
love
love it.
deathcore, but at the same time, I'm scared to go to deathcore shows because people be crowd killing, and I'm not trying to die at 30 years old.
Yeah, no, like me, like I love deathcore and everything, but I've always been a metalcore kid at heart, and that's where I've played in a lot of like different bands. Like I before Hallow, I was a guitarist in like a couple other bands and whatnot, and they were all like deathcore, hardcore, but I feel like I like finally like started like a metalcore project. That was like where I felt like most at home. And honestly, like, it's my favorite genre too. So like it made the most sense. And, I'm always like happy to when I'm happiest when I'm like creating like that kind of stuff. I like writing other stuff too, but that's what I'm like very happy writing.
Yeah, I feel like metalcore has a lot of like deep meaning songs behind it and stuff. That's why I like metalcore. It's like you get the heavy vocals and you get the cleans mixed with it. Like if a
Yep.
song does not have cleans in it, I can't listen to it. I can't. I don't know. I don't
I like it, but I definitely prefer there to be like a good mix of like cleans and heavy, which is what I'm trying to go for mostly with my new project and whatnot, because I love singing and I love screaming. Why not give the best of both worlds and have both, you know?
exactly like That's how I became fan of like music like that because of the cleans and the heavies, and then when they put the heavy and the cleans overlapping, oh, I'm a fan
Perfect.
automatically.
Chef's kiss.
Perfect. I write that in my reviews all the time when I get recommendations to review songs, and I just write like, oh, the cleans mixing with the heavy. Oh, you guys did so good.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Perfect. Perfect
you're
combo.
so do you have what's like what are your main goals for 2025 besides, getting this project off the ground? Like,
Hmm.
you just have a
My
lot of
main
music
goals,
goals for
honestly,
2025?
I definitely have a lot of music goals, but I also kind of like want to like start like getting more involved with like content creation and whatnot, and just like figuring out something in that avenue. Just because I always had so much fun doing it. Like maybe I don't know, like all my friends like they always like laugh at me whenever like I'm like listening to like a breakdown. I make like the dumbest faces and like I say like the dumbest shit. I'll be like ah, like just I have like funny like reactions. So like maybe like starting like some sort of reaction channel, music news
I
or
think I
whatnot,
told that to
and
you too. I think I said you
more.
have to do reactions.
May I think you might have actually. I
Yeah,
think you
yeah, I
told me at
think.
Summer Scream. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think so.
Yeah, I was like, you need
No,
to
but
do
I definitely
reaction
that's a goal.
videos.
That's definitely a goal. I want to like create more of like an online presence, and like not only like with the band and everything. I'm still gonna go right back to making the stupid memes and everything too. Because it helped it helped with engagement. It helped like stay like connected with followers that were consistent and gain
Yep.
new followers and bring more attention to the music. Content creation is such a crucial part now because like you're not just a musician or an artist, you're a content creator as well. And it's how the industry is nowadays. And me, like there's a lot of people who don't like to embrace it. There's some people who don't enjoy it. Like do I want to like make like cringy TikToks like all the time? No, but is it fun sometimes? Yeah, I can't deny it. It's kind of fun.
But that's the thing. So there's like a rumor that TikTok is going to be banned in January. So I'm thinking, like in my head, like TikTok is the main reason why a lot of bands in 2024 blew the hell up, basically. Um,
Yeah,
like now that platform might be gone. Like, is Instagram and Facebook gonna be the main source of like reels now? Like, is that going to be the same type of
that's
engagement as TikTok? Like, our band's going to be noticed more? That's like my thing for
you
next year.
know
I'm like, uh-oh.
I actually like this is a topic that I love to dive into because I posted all the same stuff on Hallow's TikTok. I ran the social media pages for the band when I was part of it, and I posted all the same stuff on TikTok and Instagram. And for some reason, like our videos on Instagram tended to do a lot better than our videos on TikTok, which was so weird. But then, like, I'll post like a cover on TikTok on like mine and it'll do good. But my personal Instagram gets like, it's like crickets,
I know
So it's like so weird.
the
The
algorithm
algorithm
is
is such a
weird.
volatile thing. It
Yeah,
is,
like
but you know what? It's that consistent push, like, regardless of whatever happens with TikTok or anything, there's always going to be another social media platform that we're immediately going to have to go to if we want to, have like that chance to catch the algorithm while it's fresh. Or even so, like on the off chance of like, just consistently posting, you catch the algorithm on Instagram or Facebook, you know. Out of nowhere, one of these like memes that I posted on Hallow's Instagram, just all of a sudden it was sitting at 30,000 views overnight. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. The next day I woke up, 100,000. I'm like, ooh, wow, okay. And then it jumps to like 900,000, and all I'm at work and my phone's just going, and I'm like, I gotta mute my phone.
But that's good that
But
something
then,
went
like,
viral like that, and then the next day you post something, you get like 100 likes. I'm like, where did that all go?
but you know what? That post, like, it wound up topping off at 5.3 million views. And, like, the thing is, like, it will keep you in the algorithm. That post, like, when you hit that algorithm just right, it's going to keep boosting that post until, like, you're always going to have, like, some stragglers liking it for a while until, like, maybe, like, after a couple months and then it'll die down. But it really helps. And, Instagram, I feel like, is probably going to be what it's like. Instagram, Facebook Reels is probably what will be like the substitute. But, I'm hoping TikTok doesn't go,
I
but
know.
because that's a crucial loss, like losing a social media platform, that's a loss for a lot of people,
Yeah, especially
especially,
content
just
creators and stuff. Like people make a living off of TikTok and everything. And
absolutely. I was just about to touch on that. Like people whose like livelihood that is, where they're like getting like that's their full-time source of income, But at the same time, if something does happen, all their followers are going to flock over to their other social medias anyways.
yeah,
But it
Twitter
would
is the
still
only
suck.
one that's boring.
Yeah,
I can't get into Twitter. I don't understand it. I will never understand the algorithm with that. Like, I'll post something and be like, there's like 80 views, but nothing. I'm like, where the hell did this 80 views come from? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know
right? Like
Twitter.
what?
I don't understand Twitter.
So weird.
Just stick to my Instagram. That's all I know. TikTok is weird. You can get like 1,000 views on one thing, 8,000 views on another, and then 10 views on one thing. You just have to hit the mark,
Absolutely.
like you said, like the algorithm at the right moment. Because if you post at like 8:01 p.m., all of a sudden that video could skyrocket to like 10,000 views because you
It's
hit it
funny
at that
because I
second.
did post that video at 8:01 a.m. I remember it. I was like 8:01 is when I'm gonna post it. And I posted it at 8:01 and then just didn't even pay attention to it until like it started like my phone started like blowing up and I like muted the notifications.
Exactly. It's certain
Sometimes
times.
posting a little after,
Yeah, if you post like
like
on
a
Fridays,
hair
Saturdays, and
after like
Sundays,
the time.
yeah, it's just certain times, certain
Although I will
days.
say Saturdays at 7 a.m. Saturdays at 7 a.m. are pretty good for some reason.
I'm surprised
Anything
because that's when
else?
people are drunk and they don't want to get up that early.
Literally.
That's horrible. But I did read about that Instagram at from 7 a.m. to like 8:15 a.m. is better in the morning, and then at like 9:02 to like
Yep.
10:11 at night on Saturday, those are like the perfect
It's so
markets. And I'm like,
weird.
that is so weird.
I
Why?
know.
Why so early? I was like,
Make it
I'm
make
not even up
sense.
that early to post. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. All right, Nick, we have 1 minute left. It was great talking to you, getting down
Likewise,
and
absolutely.
knowing how you felt and stuff about the whole departure and like, losing a loved one during the same time frame, which hit you like wildfire. I know that for a fact. Um, I can't wait till you announce your project. And like I said, you always have a spot at Summer Screen Fest with me and Sabrina. Sabrina loved you
Thank
last
you
year.
so
She's wanting
much.
you guys back this year and everything. But like I have
You
respect
guys are
for
awesome. You
like I
guys,
have respect for everybody and it's too early on to, and I don't like picking sides. That's the thing. Like
right,
I
of
love
course.
you. You and me have been friends for a while before Summer Screen Fest even
Yeah.
happened. So, like I
And
said, you
like
always
I
have
wish them
a.
the best of luck, no matter
I
what.
know, me too. I still talk to them. I love them. It's just a not a good situation.
Right.
Friends would pick over other friends. Like people would pick their sides, people would pick your side. But I think as time goes
It's just the
on,
nature of the beast.
yeah, it'll be neutral eventually.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Nick, I'll probably have this interview edited by tonight, and then if you want to collab, I'll send you a collab review thing.
Absolutely. 100%. Do it.
All right, Nick. I hope you have a good night.
All right, you as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.